Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, I was thinking of a video to do, and I was recommended to make a video about staple cards, or some of the cards from the car park level set that I really like using in gameplays of the Backrooms TCG. So these 10 cards I really like. 5 of them are items, 3 of them are entities, and 2 of them are rooms that I always like including. Let's start with the items. Items are generally the cornerstone of every good deck. You want stuff that will hit hard or give you a huge advantage. There are 5 items in particular that I always really like, adding to play with. And some of these that you could possibly relate to. First up is the Petrol Shrooms. The Petrol Shrooms is basically an attack item dealing 4 damage. But on top of that is minus 3 sanity loss. But that's not all of the attack it does. The next action round after repeating, it deals 1 extra damage but lose 1 extra sanity point until the entity is defeated. Then both that entity and the Petrol Shrooms are discarded. I really like using the Petrol Shrooms in the deck. I always like including at least one most of the time. Along with its other counterpart, the Oil Slick Shrooms. This is another one attack item dealing 4 damage, but also minus 5 sanity upon use. However, it has a very cool effect that it actually takes the unfriendly entity's card count score and divides it by 2. But rounded up if it's a decimal. So like if an entity does 3 deck and hand damage, use the Oil Slick Shrooms. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, but rounded up is 2. Or if it's an even number, then just divide it by 2. Like an entity dealing 4 deck and hand damage, use the Oil Slick Shrooms on them. And then it'll deal 2 damage every round. Next up is the excellent Smudge Pot. The Smudge Pot is a green light rarity item dealing 5 damage and also giving you plus 2 sanity. It kind of acts like a shock shroom, giving the player a breath of fresh air as it deals 1 turn paralysis, basically meaning that the unfriendly entity that the Smudge Pot has been used on will not deal extra damage that following action round, giving you just a breath of fresh air. Next up, there's the Abandoned Backpack. The Abandoned Backpack is so hit or miss. Like, basically using it gives you 5 sanity, and look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck in hand, and if there's an item, you can place it into your inventory. The others get placed down, back on the bottom of your deck in hand in any order. Like, it's just so rare, which is why it's kind of like a red light rarity, because you don't know if an item could be there or not, and you could just miss that opportunity. That would just suck. And that final item is the Old Bronze Compass. The Old Bronze Compass, whenever used, gives you plus 3 sanity, and it reveals the top 4 cards from the pull pile. And you can place as many as you want, maximum up to 4, at the bottom of the pull pile. Then later discard the Old Bronze Compass. This is what I really like using. Being a white light rarity, or a legendary, you can have only up to 3 of these in a deck. If there are no other purple light rarity or black light rarity items. Because purple, white, and black light rarities of each category, like rooms, entities, and items, share the same limit. And that's 3. And now here are the entities. Entities that are usually unfriendly can really harm you. Meanwhile, friendlies could also give you an advantage, while dual types could either be friendly or unfriendly, depending on the card text. The first entity I really like using is our good boy Aiden. Aiden is a dual type entity in the car park levels, being a purple light rarity. Engaging it gives you plus 6 sanity, although that's if you engage it as either way. But if you engage it as unfriendly, then the 8 health and the 2 deck and hand damage apply. If you engage Aiden as friendly, he allows you to reveal and rearrange the top 3 cards from the pull pile. Whoa, that was a loud motorcycle again. But anyway, Aiden reveals the top 3 cards from the pull pile, and you could rearrange them in any order. Aiden is later discarded. And if he's unfriendly, Aiden not only deals 2 deck and hand damage, but also reveals and discards the top card from the pull pile every turn, weakening your future options. Aiden from the lobby level set, it gives you much more of an advantage as he takes an entity off the field of play and places it back into the bottom of the pull pile. But Aiden in the car park levels could be more powerful, as the car park level is his home level. Another entity that I really like including is the classic Memory Worm. Engaging it takes -4 sanity and deals 2 deck and hand damage along with 2 health. You could either attack it and defeat it, or you can use Memory Fluid on the Memory Worm, and it goes into your inventory and serves as an attack item, dealing 2 damage. If you're using at least 2 Memory Worms in a deck, I most likely recommend putting some Memory Fluid in there. Next up, there's the Minus Moth. The Minus Moth, upon engagement, takes 5 sanity and deals 2 deck and hand damage every round and has 3 health. The Minus Moth is the evil counterpart of the Death Moth. However, it kind of has a similar effect, and it does something with items. Once you defeat a Minus Moth, you will receive the topmost item from the discard pile and place it back into your inventory. And now here are the rooms. There are a variety of rooms. There are 16 different rooms in the car park level set. Of course, you all love the left and right turns, and sometimes even the abandoned and desolate lots. But 2 rooms really stand out to me and have really cool effects. There's the Vending Room. The Vending Room, when moved to, gains +4 sanity, along with 2 cards from the pull pile, and plays down 2 navigation points. You could either just do nothing else, and move to another room, or you could pay a Paint Gem or use the key card to retrieve an item of your choice from the discard pile. However, if you use a Paint Gem, you don't get a Paint Gem. You lose it. And I think you also discard the key card because it says, according to the card text, but the card or gem will be consumed in the process. And finally, there's the famous Control Room. This card is perfect for revealing more than half the map, honestly. It kind of acts like a false wall, but has a different effect. Instead of taking entities to the discard pile, you gain a lot more from the pull pile than you place navigation points. +8 sanity, 6 cards from the pull pile, and place on 5 navigation points. However, you do need a specific item in your inventory to go to the control room, and that's the key card. You must have that in your inventory to enter it. And while you're in the control room, you can rearrange or relocate up to 3 rooms and 1 entity on the field of play. But that's optional. And those are my top 10 staple cards. The Petrol Shrooms, the Oil Slick Shrooms, the Smudge Pot, the Abandoned Backpack, the Old Bronze Compass, Aiden, the Memory Worm, Minus Moth, Vending Room, and the Control Room. So yeah, thanks for watching. There's no more further announcements that I have to make, not that I've heard of. But thank you, No Way Artemis, for suggesting this video that I feel like making now. And have a great rest of your day, everybody.